I just can't help it, you know. But wasn't that a lovely gesture?
Yeah.
Lovely gesture, yeah. Do you like the way I look? I just take 85 of them. Because that's what I do. I'll take those and I just take this one. Thank you.
Did you take it? Oh, we'll talk later.
Sorry.
We'll talk later.
Okay, yes. Sunday when I get the time. Just play there.
No, if you're doing the photo and stuff, then we're not live.
Sorry.
Yep.
Good afternoon, world. Wayne Carey back here again. And this is the second game of the ladies' tournament today. Just coming to the table now, I just saw the Corien Simpson from New Zealand broke the balls. And Jessica Wood from Australia, a huge reputation. She won the 2013 Women's World Under-21s. And she's actually got 7 Australian Women's Championships titles. Her highest break is 120. And interestingly enough, she plays with a John Paris cue. It's Ash. Corien comes to the table. She's left eye dominant. and I'll talk to you more about her cue soon. They're playing this at the wonderful Richmond Workmen's Club in Christchurch in New Zealand. Now, if Jessica can nail this red, there's a nice soft black there. And the same will be on offer for Corien. Now the Kiwi Corien Simpson's playing with an ash cue. It's a very special cue. I know the owner of the cue. The cue's name was Wayne Carey, which is me. And it's actually one of 4 available in the world. It's a Mike Russell cue, and not many of us would know this. There's only ever 4 of these made in the world. Mike Russell, of course, is the world champion billy player. He's the billy player all the billy players would like to be. He's like the Ronnie O'Sullivan of billiards. Jessica Wood comes to the table. She's playing with a John Parrish cue. She'd be annoyed with it. Just nervous. This is the normal nervous start for everybody. Robin Cook in the UK actually made the Mike Russell cues. I don't know if many of you people watching this from the UK would remember Robin Cook. Not sure what's happened here.
Oh, man.
Why are they good? I'm not sure. I think it looks like we might have. It looks like they're still.
She's a bloody good player, the school.
There's nothing simple here.
I first came across her when she was about 16.
Okay. Yes, just talking to my friend there, Chris Anderson from Christchurch. He has seen the young lady Jessica Woods play before. No score at this stage. Now, of the 4 Mike Russell cues that have been made, Mike obviously owns the first 2. I did own the other one, and of course the very good player, champion from New Zealand, Gary Oliver, he owns the 4th one. Safety shot intended from the Australian. Safety in mind, of course. Clever shot. Great reply. Bit of a miscue there, and it looks like she's got away with it. No, she hasn't. There's one on the back. Sorry, didn't see it. Jessica Woods from Australia takes the first red. Wouldn't be over happy with her positioning, but still pockets there for her to take in balls. Seven-time Australian women's champion, this young lady, so she can play. What's the queuing action? It's pretty special. Wow. It's a lovely blue. Brent Jones is the current referee there. He's a very nice player himself, left-handed player. There's the queuing action. It's a good shot of the queuing action. Glass of wine elbow, but didn't get that one. Well taken. Nice one, a bit close obviously to the brown, but the green's available. Just sort of trying to work out your next red. It's a tough one. Oh, so's the black. Why not? Steps nicely into the shot. Elbow looks good. Motorbike grip. Wow, that fought with the pocket too. I liked it. I thought that was in. Bad luck. Corien. From this angle, it doesn't look like any gimmies there. So obviously safety looks to be the issue. Just a stop shot, I think. Yeah, well played. Because currently with the reds up here at the top end of the table, there's no one can sort of just send a white up here for safety. So there's extra consideration going on here. Obviously where the white is, the white's best down on that end of the table at this stage. Just to cuddle up, I think. Yep, just a cuddle up shot. Trying to break them open without giving anything away. Yeah, very good result. So the Australian Jessica Wood steps forward. No gimmies, but there's definitely some possible reds there if she's good enough. And she is, but no colour. Second time actually, she's had no real colour. Mind you, she put a beautiful blue before. So the green looks to be the favoured idea at this stage. One good thing about aiming for a very thin shot, you're forced to play it thin. So that can help. Just playing middle ball. Well, fancy overcutting that. Wow. So our New Zealand player, Corien Simpson, originally from Wellington but now living in Canterbury, in Christchurch. This red automatically gives her the green. Well slotted. And looks to have the green. Both these girls are just a bit nervous, that's all. It's to be expected. It's the first frame of the 5 frames. All 5 frames will be played. So green, get out for the next red. Has done so. But unfortunate. Sensational shot. Wow. Trouble is when you play away like that, you really don't have a colour afterwards. There was a lovely red. Corien, lovely red. She just cut it up to the black? Or does she get a white back on this back cushion? No, she had to go to double. Good effort, bad luck. The problem with that, of course, is now left a red, but still no real easy colour. The pink's got to be worked. You need to run with those reds and get the pink to work over to a pocket for you. Jessica Woods from Australia were definitely good enough to do that. She's got a pink. So I'd be interested to see if Corien can see that red. So yes, that's very tight. Now it looks like it's on. Definitely looks like it's on. The white should really drift into good areas for a colour. Black looks available, green looks available, blue looks available.
Grab a seat, mate.
I'll sit here. I didn't know you were there. Yeah, lovely green. And looks like she's manufactured the next red as well. Taking plenty of time here to walk around. New Zealand's at the front here. 10-7. And this Jessica Wood, she's got a real reputation, as I said before. A real reputation. 2013 Women's World Under-21 Champion and a 7 times Australian Women's Champion with a high break of 121. So she can play.
There's clothing foul.
Is that a foul?
Yeah, clothing foul. At the red.
At the red, couldn't tell from the angle, that's all. And I'm delighted to say I've just seen Matthew Scarborough walk through. Matthew Scarborough's actually playing tomorrow, playing against the Aussies. Matthew, would you like to come over here and have a chat with us?
It's been my pleasure.
So have you not put much practice in, Matthew?
I've just had a week's holiday with the family in Taupo, so I haven't played at all since last weekend.
Wow.
And played last weekend at the new venue at the Papatorito Club in Auckland, where the NZBSA have put up 8 brand new Shender tables. And that was quite an experience, very different from the usual club tables that we're used to. So it was a real pleasure to play there for the inaugural tournament.
So what actually is the difference then? What do the tables feel like? Like what is so different about these tables?
Yeah, so the Shender tables, they're a little bit different to the star tables that you see on TV. But these are the tables that are typically used at world billiards and snooker events overseas, and I've been fortunate enough to play in a couple of overseas tournaments over the years. I played in Qatar in 2016 and in Turkey in 2019, and played on the Shender tables, and I can tell you it was quite an adjustment. If you're used to club tables in New Zealand conditions, it's quite an adjustment. So the main difference, of course, the cloth for a start is much finer. It's a lot faster and a lot more reactive. So you really do have to cue the ball quite differently. And also the cushions are steel back cushions. So the bounce off the cushions is quite different as well. And with the sheen of a brand new cloth, the balls do come off the cushions at a slightly different angle. So it's almost like learning to play all over again. It is quite an adjustment. And I think most people last weekend struggled. We had a field of 40, 8 sections of 5, and we didn't finish on the Saturday until 9 o'clock in the evening. So I think that's a reflection of how much people actually struggled to adjust to the new conditions. But we had nothing but positive feedback. Everyone really enjoyed playing on them, and that's really how snooker should be on these tables. So I think everyone's very excited to have these facilities at our disposal finally, because if we're going to produce players who can compete overseas, we need to be playing on under these types of conditions. So big all credit to the NZBSA for everything they've done to make that happen.
Yes, it's no fluke, absolutely. Well, like yourself, Matthew, I've been to 14 World Championships around the world. And when I go and play on these tables overseas, I'm just absolutely lost. They're just so different. The cloth, like you said, is just different. Played in Singapore in November, and when I put my hand on the cloth, it was actually warm. The cloth was warm.
Yes, and all the tables in Auckland, they're all fitted with table heaters. And yes, the first thing I notice is, that sensation of warmth when you put your hand on the table. It's quite strange.
And of course the cloths can be different. The ones that we played with in Singapore was super fine.
Yeah.
So with billiard players, we like to bend the ball. We bend the ball, we use check side and that to bend the ball for long jennies and short jennies. The balls didn't bend at all. They went straight and we were absolutely lost. This is all the experienced players as well. So, but like you said, pat on the back, the NZBSA, they're doing something. And for us to get people to play overseas in competition, they've got to strike normal playing conditions. Played with the great Mike Russell once, and he just said after the game, just feel sorry for you guys, you just don't play in conditions like this.
But now we do have somewhere where we can go and get used to those conditions.
Wonderful blue. Sorry, wonderful red, sorry for the blue, sorry, yeah.
I think the reality is, though, you can't have those tables and those conditions in clubs, in club facilities in general, because the cloths are so fine, they just wouldn't last very long. Your typical club cloth is much thicker and built to withstand everyday use in clubs. And
Yes.
that's fine, you know. But if you want to play at the top level and you want to play overseas, then you need to be playing under different conditions. It's an adjustment to be made, and I think the top players, if you've got the technique, you will do okay. If you're not quite cueing straight, if you're putting unwanted side on the ball, then you will get found out on the finer cloth. So it's a learning experience.
Well, the normal table in New Zealand, because they want to wear for 2 or 3 years, they're normally 32 ounce. And when we go overseas, they're super fine. They're a minimum of 30 ounce, but super fine on top of that. They sometimes talked about them being shaved. I do think New Zealand clubs should be able to put in steel back cushions and heated tables in New Zealand. I agree it's too expensive to put in cloths on every month or something. There's a plant, well played, the school can play. But for some reason we should be trying to get these more into the clubs if we want the quality of New Zealand player to be where we want it to be. You've got to take your hat off to a guy called Dino Kane. He went over at 17 over the Worlds. He must have wondered what he'd struck as well.
Absolutely.
But
So there's a few clubs putting in table heaters now, and I played at the Tauranga Citizens Club only a few weeks ago in the Bay of Plenty Open, and they've fitted table heaters to all their tables, and boy, those tables are really fast.
fantastic.
So I think there is a recognition that to try and improve the quality of the playing conditions that we're playing under.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand in general, yes,
Mm.
there is a commitment to that.
Very good, very nice, Corien. Playing good. Corien is a partner to the great Gary Oliver in New Zealand. And obviously he spent some time coaching with her, I'd say. Brown for safety or brown for the pot? So you're on these tables tomorrow. Now this table's not heated, but it runs very nice. It's a good quality club table.
It looks nice.
So that happens in this game, of course.
And she did say so. She did say sorry.
Yeah, corresponding angles, as my English friend used to say.
It'd be nice to get that black on the spot. Create some scoring opportunities. Colours are all a bit over the place at the moment.
So currently Australia leads 26-11. And New Zealand player Corien Simpson steps up with a shot. Very nicely done.
Bit of a choice here. Do you take the easy yellow, 2 points, or do you take the more difficult black, which might give position on the red?
You've got to take the one you're going to get.
Mm.
You know, if you really feel the black is yours, don't hesitate. But otherwise,
She's going for the black, so that's a positive move. She's cued that very well, and perfect position on the red.
great to see the ladies play this game, isn't it?
Absolutely, great to
Yeah.
see anyone play this game.
Well,
all
it's good
all
good
ages,
too.
all levels.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with what I saw briefly yesterday. Was it young Cooper, only 11 years old.
Cooper Collier.
Great cue action. Kind of reminded me of a young Lewis Chand. I remember playing Lewis when he was only 11 and he was barely tall enough to look over the end of the table. But and look what he did with his game only a few years later.
Actually, he's in Australia at present, isn't he?
I believe so. I haven't seen him on the snooker table for a long time. So.
No, I haven't. Well nailed. Good shooting.
It's a useful 15 points.
It is very useful. So Matthew Scarborough now comes to the table. Does Matthew Scarborough attempt this red or does he hide?
No, I'd be looking at, if it was me, I'd be looking at some safety maybe behind the green and brown and just coming off putting the red on that top cushion. Exactly that shot, and you might even get the double.
Might even get the pot.
And
she needs your straight lines, and that's a wonderful result. Well
you know,
called.
You know she's played that absolutely
well called.
perfectly.
We should give you a knighthood for calling that.
Should be a simple one cushion escape, but
it is.
You know,
but you've set the trap, haven't you?
As always, it's getting it safe, and she's played it at a nice pace just to roll up and kiss that red. Yeah.
Wonderful shot. There's experience for you. Great shot, Jessica Woods. So high behind the blue with the white.
Yeah, I think you just got to leave that red on the top cushion and flick the white back up the table, maybe get some cover behind the blue.
Yeah, there's a straight line, isn't it? No, she's just let to go behind the... Bad luck, good effort. Wow. All you people watching this, you've all played this game, you know how hard it is. Got away with it?
Yeah, hit that a little bit thick. This is not quite straightforward to get safe.
It's tricky, isn't it?
I haven't seen Corien play before. How much experience has she had? How long has she been playing? Do you know, Wayne?
She's been playing a while, plays a lot of pool.
Yeah.
She actually tries to play a little bit of billiards as well, obviously because of Gary. Lovely person, lovely attitude. He tries hard and has had some experience. I'm not sure what title she's won. Great attitude, tries hard, as you just saw.
Jessica, I have seen play before. I've seen her play overseas, both when I went to Qatar and Turkey. So she's got plenty of talent and experience on the table. She's a little bit disappointed with that safety shot. She would have been looking to get that white sort of hard on that top cushion.
So a table clearance is here, difficult red, difficult blue. So the score's 26 each. New Zealand versus Australia in the ANZACS. Two ladies at the table. She stood up pretty quick on that shot, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she knew she hadn't quite hit that where she wanted to. but it's not going to be an easy. Wouldn't be an easy clearance for anyone with where the brown is next to the green, and the blue on the side cushion.
So is here a red pink?
Pink or black, and then try and get some sort of angle on the yellow. Get up to
She
the green.
likes it. Well
yeah,
played.
That's a good shot.
And that gives you automatic position for the yellow. Just the middle pocket's your biggest enemy, breathe the in off. Middle pocket where she's standing, but yep, she likes it. Now she's going to black. You called it.
Yeah, slightly more difficult pot, but I think the issue with the pink is where that blue is, that might be in the way. Pink's definitely the easier pot here, but she's obviously has some coaching. She knows to walk around the side of the table, look at the angle of the shot. Yeah. Very methodical way of going about her shot routine. Just make sure of the pot here.
Wonderful pot, take a bow. Probably just run a bit unfriendly. But I would have thought that the green and brown weren't that difficult, providing you're obviously on the left-hand side of the table here, because one will help you get onto the other. But this is difficult. This is ugly. This is... Yeah, what would you do here, Matthew? Would you have a crack at the yellow?
I think I would try and...
With English?
Yeah, I think I would try and pot this yellow, maybe with a lot of right-hand side, come around the back of the brown and green, but it's such a thin pot. Keeping control of that cue ball is very difficult.
Wonderful. Don't you dare, don't you dare. Yeah. Well, what a wonderful pot that was. Don't you see some great balls getting potted?
Yeah.
You know, you walk into any club around New Zealand, just watch some people playing snooker. They can be 80, but for some reason they just pot some magnificent balls at times.
I think that's one of the big differences between snooker and pool. Pool's very much a game of precision on a small table area. Snooker, you need a lot more highly refined technique.
Well, currently New Zealand leads 36-26.
Green 36, Jessica 26.
And the balls are not on the... There's only 2 balls on the original spots, which most snooker players practice all the time as the spot up. So how does she miss the pink and not going off if she puts the green? Or did she simply take the green and worry about the brown next?
I think that's just what she's kind of sizing up here, whether play safe or take the pot, whether she can get on the brown from the green, but either way the blue's going to be the problem.
Well, the drag shot's in there, the pullback shot's there, so yeah, nicely nailed. And she was scared of the in-off by the looks of it.
Definitely worth having a go at that brown.
Jessica 3.
Might have got second prize. I think she put her hand up by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
she got that little flick on the pink. Can't quite tell from this angle whether it's a full ball snooker, but
Although the referee hasn't gone around to have a look at it, has he?
He came round with him.
Did he? Sorry.
in fact I can just see on the other screen it is a full ball snooker there. So
That's 2, yeah.
Sorry, I keep hitting on watching 2 screens.
Thank you. So 1 cushion escape or 2? It looks like the 1. I think she's doing the right thing here, although the nap's the wrong way. Got to be aimed just to miss the pink. Looks pretty good. Wow, missed by nothing. Wow. So I don't think they should be called a foul and a miss because it's just missed by nothing. this level. On the pros, we call that a foul limits, of course. It's one of those fine line areas that I find difficult in snooker.
It's a particularly difficult rule to apply in amateur snooker.
Yes.
See, at the professional level on TV, that's a miss every time. The referee
Yes.
doesn't really have to give any judgment on the matter.
No. I think that's a correct call, honestly. Well nailed.
Yeah, I was looking for a kiss on the blue there, ideally, but didn't quite get it.
I wonder if it's Mr. Corien, it's Corien. What a good effort that was.
No, you might be right.
Yeah. So that was. So Australia's just gone to the front there, and I'm a bit amazed she played that so slow.
I think it would have been okay had it been had it wobbled in the jaws. It probably would have ended up on the bulk cushion, but she just missed it by a fraction too much, which is why she's put it up.
Now, half ball blue here gives you automatic pink. And pink should give you the black, so there's possibly a table clearance here. Yeah, it was going down for the pink, all right, but thankfully it didn't go off. Great shot. New Zealand hits the front.
She just needs the pink to win this frame,
Yes,
so it doesn't have to worry about position on the black. It's a free shot at this pink.
good point. Very strong point, actually. I think she's going to have a crack at cutting it as well. You know, the good thing about a cut is that you're forced at it thin. That's what I like about a cut. You've got no option.
Yeah, and with these types of shots, if you try and err to hit it on the thin side and try and get that white, hit it at a pace where, you know, if you miss it, that white's going to finish tight on that bulk cushion.
Yeah. She's going to have a crack. Nice elbow. Glass of wine elbow. Just flick to the right there. Yep, okay. It's worked out okay. So New Zealand 41-37. I think she'd be disappointed with that. It's not easy. But it should have been a little bit thicker. Isn't it great being a commentator? You know how to play every shot. You know.
It's probably not that easy to get safe. Just worried if that
No, actually it's hard and look.
pink might come off the top cushion and hit the black.
Just play the full ball, would you? Put the
She's
pink.
trying to pot this, maybe.
You see?
I think she was.
Good on it.
Yeah, I should probably settle for that.
So I think so. Zenoff's everywhere here. So I would say she's just going to play probably full ball, give or take. Put the red pink down here. Wrong again.
Just caught that a little bit too thin, which
So the New Zealand player, Corien Simpson, she just needs the pink to win this first frame, and that'd be a really nice result, an exciting result. Yes, game. Well played, Corien. Take a bow, Corien. Lovely result. Well played. New Zealand goes 1-0 up. All 5 frames are played. And after this, we have the doubles. There's Gary Oliver, that's Corien's partner. He's actually an international coach. That's with the red and black shirt there. New Zealand champion 19 times. So how good is he? I don't know if he knows what he's doing here because he doesn't play snooker. I didn't even realise it. I don't think he even realised there was a green on the table. I'm surprised he knew that. So Jessica was to come to the table and break, and I think it's a toilet time for the ladies.
Second frame, Jessica break. New Zealand leads 1-0.
Jessica Woods to break.
They're looking for now.
Nice little stun read here for the black, or would you go right around for the blue? What would you do? Here, Matthew, start of the frame, you'd probably go around behind the black and come up for the blue, would you?
Me, I just try and put it.
Okay. Yeah.
These are never easy shots. They look easy on TV, don't they?
If you're not careful though, you put the red, you're nowhere. You're in the bunch of reds doing nothing.
You just got to concentrate on pulling that red.
Yeah, and that was what I was sort of mentioning. That's the problem if you don't. Yeah. So Gary Oliver's a referee. Could be a re-rack. Was that a push? Can we play that again, please? These 85-year-old eyes sort of thought that was a push shot.
I don't have the replay.
Could be. I must be wrong because
There's no call on it.
no, Gary was there. Yep. Definitely a chance for a couple of reds here.
Was a chance. You'll be a bit disappointed with missing that.
Yes.
She might try and double the. Maybe I can't quite see it from this angle, but she might try and double.
Yes, I think you're right.
Oh, no,
I
she's,
know she can
she's
try
trying to cut it in the
open up the
corner.
reds too.
She's
Well,
quite-
good on her. Wow, look at those reds now.
Yeah, that was the shot to play.
Was. Very good shot, actually. You did right.
Risky, but
Yeah. Sometimes you just like them, don't you? You just get down and just feel it.
and she didn't quite settle in the first frame. It was quite a scrappy first frame, so she'll be looking for a nice open opportunity like this just to get a Q arm going and her iron. A little bit straight on this red though, so she's going to have to screw this back with possibly
She's
a
doing
bit
that too.
of bottom right hand
Yeah.
side. And that was the problem. If you don't quite cue
Yeah.
that properly,
Jessica 8.
that can happen. And that was all because she finished too straight on that red.
And try to make something that was probably because I was watching her wrist. She had a very flexible wrist, so she put a bit of a flick into it, and that might have just done the damage.
Key thing on those types of shots is make sure you chalk your Q-tip really well.
So as a snooker player, do you practice potting from the black from the jaws of the pockets? Do you ever practice it at all? Because it comes up a lot.
You do, but not intentionally.
Okay.
So you practice it, and the more you play, the more you fall out of position.
Yeah, I
Ironically,
suppose so, yeah.
ironically, sometimes the worse you play, the more those types of pots come up.
Yes, good point. Yeah,
And
that's
so it's
good
just
point.
a case of playing
Yeah.
more often, and when those situations do come up, then you know how to pot them.
We do it all the time at billiards because it's a
Yeah,
369
of course,
shot.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But and also it's in and off sometimes playing from the jaw if you try to pot the black in, depending on the shot. So
But with that type of shot coming up, it's normally because you've played a bad shot
yes, yeah.
previously. So
In snooker, yeah.
yeah.
So that was a pretty simple read, and probably trying to get too much back for the pink blue she's blowing it. But again, this green does give her another read. Clever way to play it. If you miss it, the read's not on. Well played. It's experience. And there's no other easy read really. The bottom read down the bottom's on, but you're going to leave too much else on if you miss it. Yeah, clever shot. Jessica hasn't fallen for the trap.
The computer just shut itself down.